My name is Nicole Whitlock, and I'm with eCom Sellers Academy. And today's topic is white label and private label. It's a workshop, two-part series, and we're going to go ahead and get started. I have with me on this journey to cover white label and private label, Miss Renata Darden. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm the co-founder of eCom Sellers LLC. I have been selling online since 2014. I started on eBay as a way to raise money for my two special needs kids therapies. And I've technically been selling offline since 2008. I used to run a candy vending business and I did pretty well. I actually enjoyed running it. So that is a little bit about me. Miss Renata, if you want to unmute yourself and share all the gloriousness that is you.
Gloriousness. Hello, all. I am Renata Darden, and along with my amazing partner, I'm co-founder of eCom Sellers. I've been selling online for a very long time. I came out with the eBay babies. So I've started here and there in, I say 1999. I really believe it was before that, but I've been selling offline since way before that. I used to go to some of the auctions, and before we had the reality shows with the storage wars and all that, I was hitting those babies even back then, going to some of the storage facilities, going to some of the auctions, and then reselling some of those items. So I have two teenage sons. When I wrote this, they were amazing. Now they just amaze me. So I don't know what the difference is there, but they do amaze me. So that's about me.
Oh, I get it. My kids amaze me every day too. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get started. So the assumptions of this workshop is that it is being taught from a new seller perspective. So if you're a new seller, hopefully the information we're sharing is going to help you make some decisions about whether or not you should jump into the white label or private label game. However, any of these suggestions, ideas, information that we share with you can be utilized to sell on any platform. So it's not just Amazon or eBay specific and using any selling method. So private label, drop shipping, whatever you want to do, or if you want to source wholesale, this will work as well. So, Ms. Renata, you want to cover mindset?
Absolutely. So here over here with eCom Sellers, we love to talk about mindset, but the biggest piece of this is ownership. You want to always have in mind that this is your business. You want to treat it like a business. Budget, we always want to remind you that you need a budget of how much you want to make and spend, and you want to stick to that each and every week. Schedule. My partner in crime over there loves to talk about schedule, and she does a great job of showing our members how to establish and execute a real work schedule. And we do that and want you to do that for consistency's sake. Planning, we want you to plan what you're going to source and then focus on what's selling now. We call those the trends. And then also always be looking out at least 3 to 6 months. You want to stay ahead of the game. And this is no matter what platform you're selling on, you want to always be in the planning mode to know what's coming. You don't want to get caught by surprise or have to pay extra for things because you're having them shipped last minute and that sort of thing. And consistency, we talk about consistency always, but it is absolutely key to your success. You can't look at number 3, execute a real work schedule, be consistent, and not understand that it is key to your success. You've got to treat this like a business, and you've got to know that you've got to work in it every day, just like you would if you were going to a job, just over broke.
Ain't that the truth? So the overview for this workshop series is we're actually going to be covering all things and everything white label and private label focused. So we're going to talk about what is white label, what is private label, what are the advantages of white label and disadvantages of white label, along with the advantages and disadvantages of private label, how to source for white label and sourcing for private label, and then some examples of white label and private label. We're going to cover those in this workshop. But today, our focus is going to be what is white label. We're going to give you some examples of what white label is. We're going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of white label. And we're going to talk about white label sourcing strategies and some product ideas. So what is white label? So the short version of white label is there are products that a specific manufacturer might make for a retailer. I'm going to use an example of like Costco and also Walmart. Walmart has its own Walmart brand, which is called Great Value. And Costco has its own brand, which is called Kirkland's. I can talk today. And both of those particular brands, those products are actually white label products. So in other words, you could reach out to a specific manufacturer that might be making a specific product and ask them if you can sell that product yourself with your own name on them. So in this example, like Kirkland's batteries, they are actually Duracell. The other thing, Costco also sells some amazing wine, and a significant amount of the wine that's sold at Costco is a name brand wine company. So when looking at white label products, like there are products that you see every single day and you think that they are the store brands, but they might actually be white label products. And so these are goods that have that white label on them. And the producers or the manufacturer who made them has already worked with those goods. And it means that you as the retailer and me as the reseller cannot set some additional options according to our own. Like if we wanted to sell it, they have some guidelines on whether or not what you can sell it. There might be some minimum prices, but the great thing is that you will be able to take that product because they've already put it together, the contents of it and the ingredients, like supplements as an example, and you can't change anything other than the marketing, the packaging, and the branding. So you're going to slap your brand on it, you're going to market for it, and the packaging on the outside might be yours. So those are some examples of white label. And here's some white label products like that you could, put your name or your logo or your brand on it. So if you want to white label, that means that you've already established a brand, you've already established a logo, or you've established a company and a brand and a logo so that you can put your name or your brand on those specific products. So you see leggings here, you see some workout gear, you see t-shirts, you see the little workout tee that the ladies got on. You see a lot of t-shirts and you see the leggings. Supplements, most people don't realize that there are companies out there that will allow you to white label their supplements. So vitamin C, vitamin D, different supplements that are already made, gummies, a significant number of them. If you've got an established brand, and you've got a logo and you got all the branding done, then again, another example or a way in which you can white label your products. So we see here some face masks, some coffee mugs, again, putting your logo and your brand on them so that way, if people are looking for them, then they can find them by searching by your brand or product name. So there's some great products that are out there that actually started off as white label products and now they're their own and they've been sold to $1 million companies. So that means that there's an opportunity for you to make a lot of money in the white label space if you launch it right, if you create your logo and the brand right, you've got brand awareness. And we have some great training on branding that's covered in our Shopify training and also in our bundles training. So if you want to take an in-depth look at branding, those two trainings we encourage you to go ahead and check out because we walk through what you need to do to create your brand and your logo and your colors and get your brand messaging so you can move forward with selling your products if you're going to white label the products. So what are some of the advantages of white labeling? So white labeling allows you to quickly turn your company around. So you'll be able to launch a product, an existing product, just put your logo on it. And you can add your own touch, of course, your branding, a great website, personalized shopping experience, and unique packaging. So make it your own. There's some great product bundles that are out there, or some, what do they call them? Subscription boxes that are out there that all they contain is white label products. So you don't need to have any creative skills or manufacturing experience to sell white label products. You can use tools like Canva, you can use Fiverr, you can use all kinds of different sources to create your logo and your brand and come up with your colors. And then, if you find the manufacturers who produce white label products where you can put your logo on them, then you don't have to manufacture anything. You don't have to come up with dimensions for anything. None of that. They just want your logo so they can slap it on there, your specific company information, and you can begin selling them. So white labeling might be a great option for you if you're looking to jump into a trending product. One of the trends right now is vitamin D and vitamin C for sure. And then zinc is another one. That's a trending product.
Another good example of that would be like when we all had found out we needed to be wearing masks. So jumping on a trending product is going to be something where timing is very important. If you were trying to do masks 5 years ago, maybe not so much. So those are just some ideas on when you might want to look at this as an option.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you want to start a business very quickly, it's a great way to get started by finding existing products that you slap your logo or brand onto or company name, and then just beginning selling them on your own website or selling them, on other sites. You can list your products there. You don't have a unique product idea. So if you're just struggling to figure out, oh, I don't have a niche or I don't know what to sell, then white labeling products is a good way to get started. And the great thing about white labeling, if you establish your brand and you get brand registry on Amazon, like you'll be the only seller on that listing. Now you do have to drive your own traffic, but you'll be the only seller on the listing. If you want to start a business without any upfront investment, so there is some expense, but it is less than what's involved if you're going to do private label. And especially if you do print on demand white label, you don't have as much startup expense. So that's a good thing. If you're not interested in making or manufacturing a product yourself, of course, and you want a branded, so I mentioned the supplements before. In addition to, you're looking to monetize a personal or influencer brand with merch. So t-shirts are always like people come up with specific brands for t-shirts, coffee mugs, all kinds of stuff. Is there anything else you want to add to that, Miss Renata?
Nope, I think that's it.
Okay, so what are some of the disadvantages? So I'll let Miss Renata take you from here.
Okay, so with every method, there's always going to be advantages and disadvantages, and Nicole's gone through a great number of the advantages of doing white label, but you also need to take a look at things that you might come up against. So with manufacturing, when you're creating a private label brand, manufacturing the products or finding manufacturers for the products is the biggest barrier to entry. So people sometimes look at, fraudulent companies out there, companies that are, mimicking, imitating, or counterfeiting items. So production of poor quality items or poor quality products that come from abroad. We've talked a lot about, products that come from China, but that's just about any foreign country. You've got all of the barriers come from either a language barrier or just the fact that things are done differently in some other places. You also have to know that you will have to buy inventory up front. So if you're starting a private label brand, you're going to have some upfront costs. And some of the other methodologies and some of the other methods that we teach, that's not an issue. So you want to know this upfront, and then you don't know how much you're actually going to be able to sell, even though you're going to have those out-of-pocket costs up front.
I'll let you continue with sourcing for white label.
Sourcing, okay. So number of ways to source if you're wanting to get started with white label. The biggest thing and the thing that we always talk about are the online directories. So in addition to actually going out to the trade shows, we talk a lot about those as well, but there are trade shows and exhibitions. And sometimes we tell you when we're training, you can just go through your local stores and get inspiration and ideas that way. But there are, now that we're all at home, spending a lot more time at home and getting out less frequently, there's a wealth of online directories and resources that are completely and solely dedicated to just showcasing white label and some private label manufacturers. So we pull together a quick list, and we hope that this is helpful for you. But the White Label Expo, that is numero uno. Thomas is a website where you can go to and look for different manufacturers. Makers Row, you hear us talk often about Alibaba. India Mart was our good friend Norman's favorite. We hate that he's not with us anymore to talk to you about that. Dropify also has some resources in there for you to be able to find and use, find and research white label manufacturers, global sources, and placeit.com.
Yeah, and there's several, like if you're looking to get in the print on demand space, like you can definitely go to, trying to remember all of them, Printify, Printful. You know, they have a lot of white label products like that are already out there that you can put your logo or brand on.
So when you're looking at the online directories, just know that even though they're convenient, and we talked about that because you're doing this stuff from home, but that's a double-edged sword, because just like you can get to them and look up all the information and do your research online, your competitors also have that same easy access. So if you're looking at doing the private label model, that's not a big deal. But when we're talking about white label, you need to pay closer attention to who's selling what. You don't want to kind of jump into a space that's I don't want to use the word oversaturated, but you do want to know that you've got people that may have been at it a lot longer than you, or doing something different. So you want to make sure you have that unique selling proposition. So you want to make sure that you're actually looking and seeing who else is using those same manufacturers. Sourcing strategy number 2, they talk about always sample your products. So you're going to actually be building your brand when you're looking at white labeling, and you want to make sure, not just based on what the manufacturer has told you, but you want to personally ensure that this product delivers on everything it promises. And they have made some promises, but you've got to look at your brand and what you're representing as well. So you don't want to commit to selling a product until you've actually seen it and tested it with your own 2 hands. Aside from actually going back and fact checking the supplier, everything that they told you this product was going to be and how it was going to deliver, you also want to understand how the customer is going to receive the product. You want to know what it's going to look like. You want to be able to see, touch, and feel it when it comes, including the labels and the packaging, any requirements and requests that you've made of the manufacturer. And then you're going to be looking at it through bright eyes. You're going to be looking at it through fresh eyes of a consumer, and it might actually give you some new marketing angles. You might be able to look at that box and say, well, it's a little tight fitting. Maybe we want to increase the size of the box and add some more padding, just so that it doesn't get crushed, that sort of thing. So you'll be able to take a look at it from a different angle and possibly get some different ideas, not just on packaging, but on some additional uses as well. Sourcing strategy number 3, we want you to be aware of the shipping logistics. You always want to take this into consideration when you're looking at which products you might want to white label. So where you get your products from is going to require much more consideration than just, okay, where can I get the lowest price? Where can I get the best quality? You're going to have to consider all of the shipping logistics as well. So if you're using a fulfillment center, you need to know how often they're going to accept shipments from you, if they're going to be able to handle the load, and any discounts that you might get for placing a bulk order. You need to know whether or not you can actually realistically ship that amount to take advantage of the discount. It's not going to do you a great bit of good if you get a big shipping discount and then you find that you've overbought, either because it's seasonal or because the demand just isn't there. So you want to make sure that you crunch all these numbers way ahead of time, not when you're actually in the process of trying to decide on where you're going to get the products. You want to be able to use those metrics in making that decision. So you don't want to miss any hidden shipping fees. You want to make sure that you're asking about that. If there is a discount on buying in bulk, how is that going to, how's the shipping increase going to offset that? And remember to check out the references for the manufacturers that you're looking at, just to make sure that they're reliable, punctual, and above all else, trustworthy. We talked about, just not taking them at their word on everything, but you want to make sure that they're actually going to deliver things on time and in the condition that they've promised.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, products that might be ideal for white labeling, just so you can manage some of the shipping costs, might be small items, lightweight items, items that maybe have a number of reviews and that you can tailor your brand to. So, sometimes using the Amazon Top 100, which we can go look at here real quick, can be a helpful way to get started or get some strategies around finding some white label ideas. Going to print on demand sites, definitely another one. And then go into the list that Renata's already provided. But trying to find something small might be a great way to get started so you can manage your shipping costs. And then try to find something that's unique that people are looking for. So I always like to think about things that might be coming up. We're going into the summer. What are some potential white label products that people might buy going into the summer? What are some of the potential white label products that people might buy going into the fall? And also, going into winter, what are some of those products? What can I put my logo on? What are the brands? If I don't want to niche down, if I don't want to focus on a specific thing, again, these are things that you don't have to establish an account with the manufacturer and get everything going. So some ideas might be like stainless steel bottles and phone accessories, or even laptop accessories like the covers and the stickers for laptops. Another one, cosmetics, fitness clothing. We saw that earlier. Pet accessories. So again, another white label opportunity. Mugs, essential oils, LED lights. It says LED, but it's actually LED capital. I hate it when it autocorrects. Tote bags, massage guns. I have to go look that one up. Coffee. So coffee, a lot of people will white label, will buy white label coffee. So they'll put their logo, their brand on it. So they're getting it from a specific supplier and they're just slapping their logo or brand on the front of it. And supplements. We talked about supplements before. So these are all great white label opportunities. So what I'm going to do is real quick before we close out here, I'm actually going to go over to White Label Expo. And it's one of my favorite sites to go to. For some reason, my computer will not type the X, but okay. And you notice that the first thing that it showed me was exhibitors when in the Google search. So here I could have just gone to exhibitors. But in any case, when you go to exhibitors, these are all companies that are offering a white label option, or they're servicing or supporting companies that sell white label products. So what you need to do is you need to drill into whatever this particular product is. So this one is apparel. So I could click on this and get some more information about this specific apparel company. And then I can go to their website to learn how to reach out to them, how to establish an account, what they need from me so that I can sell their products and put my logo or name on them. So again, the White Label Expo, they have so many different exhibitors. You want to go through this list because there's a lot here. If you ever get to go to the White Label Expo, then definitely do that. So this one is candles, it looks like, and more candles, beneficial blends. So I don't know if that's a coffee or something else, but you can click on it to get more information. And it just goes on and goes on and goes on. So White Label Expo has so many different options available to you. These are companies that either sell products that you can put your name brand on them. So they're manufactured by them and they just want you to come in and put your packaging and name brand on it. Or they support companies. Maybe they create your logos, or maybe they handle your packaging, or maybe they handle some of your logistics. So they support companies who sell white label products, okay? Then looking at ideas, I'm always a fan of Amazon Top 100 or Amazon bestsellers, but you can go to Amazon bestsellers and some of the categories that you might be looking at. So maybe let's go to pet supplies because we talked about pet accessories as soon as my computer recovers. And so as I go over here to pet accessories, I might get some ideas. So this one looks like they have pet supplements, joint supplements. And so there are companies out there that will allow you to put your logo and brand on the supplement. Then this is Blue, but I think, is Blue also in Costco? It might be. So there might be an opportunity there where you reach out to the manufacturer on that. This one looks like another supplement. So supplements are where it's at, especially now. There are a piece of dog food or other things that you can put your logo on, leashes and collars and that kind of stuff. You definitely can go to some of the print on demand sites like Printful or Printify or any of, or name, place it, Printful. I can type. And you should be able to find some products, and they have a mock-up generator, as you saw right there. But so you can see some of the products that they have available that you can put your name on or put your company name and brand on. So socks, bracelets, necklace, laptop cases, duffel bags, hats. Again, this is still in the print on demand. But again, if you establish a brand and you want to be known for that brand using one of these companies, you want to check your margins, like Renata said before, find out about the shipping and all of that fun stuff. But once you do that, like, you may be able to come up with some amazing opportunity to sell your products through these companies, using them as the source to produce it for you. So definitely check out Amazon Top 100. It can help you generate some ideas for white label products. Look at some of the print on demand, and also look at some of the drop ship suppliers. So another one is Alibaba. They have a lot of manufacturers that will allow you to, brand their stuff. So again, that's another white label opportunity. Anything else you want to add to that, Renata?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
The LED lights.
The LED lights, yeah, I know. That is so funny to me. LED, it just auto corrected. Anyway, so we are part of eCom Sellers Academy, and we want to continue to support you on your e-commerce journey. So it's important that you avoid all the pitfalls and to make sure that you have the best chance of success for launching your product. So get the support and guidance that you need through eCom Sellers Academy. If you have not already signed up, we'd love for you to join us, because we really like what we do. Our anniversary is coming up. I hadn't thought about that until I got a note
Yes.
from Norman. So eCom Sellers Academy has an anniversary. So we offer twice weekly live Q&As. We're about to have a Q&A right now. And members can get a quarterly coaching session. So your success matters to us. We encourage you to utilize our services, become a member of the Academy, hang out with us, enjoy our weekly trainings. And what we're going to do is next week, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about private label. And we're going to get into private label and give you some ideas, tips, and strategies to help you be successful at private label. So I hope this information was beneficial to you and helpful on your e-commerce journey. Right now, we're going to open it up for our Q&A. So if you're in the Facebook group, we encourage you to come out and ask your questions, post them in the thread, post them in the chat. We are here to help you. We're here to support you. We're here to answer questions. I did want to point out Dropify real quick. So with Dropify, dropshipping, private label on demand. And so there's this private label on demand, but it's really supplements. They do, we have a link. I should have already had it in the slide, but you can get all kinds of supplements through them, through Dropify. Let me close this. They don't have any minimum order quantities, which we love. They're US-based products, meaning they've already gone through the requirements in the US. That's the great thing about some of these, is like they've already gone through and passed all the safety inspection stuff. So you just pretty much come in here, pick out your products. That's the short version. I'm simplifying, but there's some work involved. And you put your logo on it and you can begin selling those products. So you'll see gummies and everything else. So I do like Dropify. I have a Dropify account. I appreciate them. They also help you if you have a Shopify store, so that you can begin the process of incorporating your products onto your Shopify store. So they will help you find suppliers that are in the US, so you don't have to worry about shipping across the pond or across the ocean. It's coming from China. So Dropify is definitely something worth looking into. So let me check on my phone and see if we have any questions at all about
I'm over there as well.
white label. Huh?
I said I'm over there as well.
Okay. So if you haven't signed up for your Q&A for your coaching session, definitely go sign up for your coaching session. We will be happy to sit down and talk with you about your business. If you think you want to get into white label, this is a great time to talk about it. So what questions do you have?
The only one I see is, will it be available to view again? And yes, it will if you're in
What
the,
questions do you have? If you're in the academy, it definitely will be available to view again, for sure. So you'll also be able to review it in your back office, the back office of your eCom Sellers Academy membership site. So right. So definitely go start looking at white label. White label is available. It's been around for a long time. Print on demand is a form of white label. So
and we love print on demand.
we do love print on demand. It is a form of white label. And I won't say it's a super easy form, but it is somewhat of an easy form. So somewhat.
I'm not seeing any additional questions on the Facebook side.
All right. So if you do have questions, we invite you to definitely ask your questions. You can type them in the chat so that we can help answer any questions that you might have. We want you to know that we are here to support you on your e-commerce journey. We hope that you found this information helpful. You can go back and watch the replay, write down the names of the companies that we mentioned, go do your own research and jump into the white label game. There's money to be made, and it's a great way to separate or differentiate yourself from others so that if you are wanting to, in the example of dealing with Amazon, if you want to be the only one on the listing or, allow yourself to be the have no competition, then, you can do brand registry. And then once you do brand registry, you can sell your product, your private label or white label products on Amazon under your brand. So there you go.
Yes, and having that unique selling proposition right there is going to make all the difference in the world in the climate we have now on some of the platforms. You don't have any competition if it's your brand.
That's true. No competition if it's your brand. So definitely do that because it is a great opportunity to make some money.
No competition on your listing. We should clarify that. There may always be someone else out there making a similar product, or even, if they're coming from the same manufacturer, the same product, but you will not have any competition on your listing that you take in the time, energy, effort to put up all those great photos the way our fearless leader teaches you to do that. You don't want someone else to come in and piggyback on your listing. So this is a great way to prevent that.
Yeah, you don't want to. If you can prevent it. So private label, again, if you're frustrated with Amazon, just brand registry. If you're in our bundles course, we talk about that. And like I said, it's a great opportunity for you to not have to deal with a bunch of competition. And just remember, there's going to be some work that's involved on your side because you will have to drive traffic to your listing. So don't be caught off guard by that because that is going to be a requirement. But if you jump into a niche that's already hot and moving, then you have a leg up. So, all right. Well, if you have questions, definitely type them in the chat. We'll be monitoring those questions down in the comments section of this video, and someone in our leadership will definitely come in and answer your questions. We're so glad you're here. We're glad to support you. If you're not part of the Academy, join us. And we're going to say goodbye for now.
And we'll see you next week with private label.
Yes, we will.